Hey Taurus, welcome to February 2019. A card has already popped out for you guys, and that is the Page of Wands, which is all about rewarding your hard work and your routine and how good you guys have been at just, getting it done. You're now going to receive some sort of message in February 2019 that just kind of reaffirms all the hard work that you've been doing, okay? So that's good. It's definitely going to be a positive message. It's a message that you can grow from. Okay, so I don't necessarily expect you to say yes to it. Actually, one of my mantras and my resolutions for 2019 is that if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. So the message comes in, and it's something that is based on your hard work and your routine. So you can decide whether or not you want to go for it. Two other cards just popped out: Nine of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Guys, every month, you guys, same card. Same card. You still haven't cleared the blockers, when it comes to finances. I'm going to give you a little advice that I've been using right now. Actually, it's this quote that just came to me. It was realizing when you realize that you don't have limitations to money, you actually have an abundance of money at your fingertips, but it's your own blockers and your own limitations that hold it down. For instance, I'll give you a personal example. My husband's like, okay, you take care of the rent, I take care of everything else. And you can see consistently every month I'll hit rent like within $1 because I put the limitation on myself, saying, I know that I can achieve more, but I put the rent cap on myself subconsciously. So I'm working to clear that. And one way I'm working to clear that is just every single day, I love money. And to be honest with you, it was very hard at first, like, especially if you're female, right? Like, for a woman to say that she loves money, like, oh my God, you're such a gold digger. You know what I mean? Like, there's such a stigma attached to it, but no. Money is an energy. Money is love. And when we say that something like that person's filthy rich, or money is the root of all evil, or, money doesn't grow on trees, these are all things that our parents inbred in us, saying, stay down, young one, stay down. Money isn't, there's not an abundance of money. And that's why the rich get richer, because they have a money mindset where they realize that money flows in just like energy. The more love you put out, the more love you're going to get back. So Taurus, if you're only thinking like this, like, I can't afford it, this person owes me this. And as a Taurus, you guys rule the second house of money. You guys rule money. This should not be your card. This should not be your card. You guys rule money. The other thing to recognize, Taurus, is that second house is also possessions and self-esteem and values. So you'll find that your values and your self-esteem is almost directly linked to your finances. You feel great on payday. You feel on top of the world. You feel great when you've got a promotion. You feel on top of the world. So recognizing that the better you feel, the more money and the more power you're going to see coming in. So if you're feeling destitute, if you're feeling broke, that's an inner thing. That's a you thing. That has nothing to do with the outside circumstances. And don't criticize me for saying that, and don't condemn me for saying that, but it really has absolutely nothing to do with the outside, because, Beyonce makes like $1 million a minute. So it's not that the world does not have money to flow. There's money out there. There is money out there, okay? It's just realizing that we put our own limitations on it by, these reoccurring thoughts saying, oh, if this person would just pay me back, or if this person, you know what I mean? Or if I had a new job. No, not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. You can make money online doing absolutely anything. And you see how this card is at the bottom here, Taurus? This card, even just looking at this picture, this is feeling like somebody's taking from you. This is feeling like somebody's taking from you. So if you have that mindset where you're realizing that you have a lot of opportunities in front of you, people offer you opportunities all the time. I just offered my Taurus mother-in-law an opportunity for a free trip to Mexico and $8,000. And she said, no, I don't want to go to Mexico. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay. But yeah, opportunities are there, Taurus. You're just not taking advantage of them. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, okay? Because you're holding on to just one thing, you're not allowing the energy to flow. and you're telling yourself that it's on somebody else, it's because, I want to move out, but that landlord won't rent to me, or I want to move out, but this person owes me this amount of money, or I want a new job, but my boss. Putting the ownership on you, you'll empower yourself, you'll free yourself. And if you do that, by March, we won't be seeing this card anymore, because this is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. Every month for at least the last 3 months has had that Five of Pentacles, which is a worry about money and fear of making changes because you don't want to be left out in the cold. And they call Taurus the immovable object. So it needs to be your idea. It needs to be your idea to initiate a change. That's the only way that you're going to feel comfortable enough to do it. So good luck. Let's see what else pulls out for you guys. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising for February 2019. I love you guys, by the way. I think you guys are perfect exactly how you are. Okay. So investments, all right? Investments. Taurus, especially the Taurus rising, you guys are the owners of the zodiac. You guys own a lot. My mother-in-law, she's Taurus, she pays $200 in storage fees. Like she literally has a storage of all of her stuff. It's time to take what you already have and find a new way to invest it. So look at what you have now, whether that be a savings, whether that be equity in a home, whether that be collectibles, which I'm sure a lot of Tauruses have expensive collectibles where they don't even necessarily realize the value that they have. It's time to look at your assets and figure out where you can make some investments, okay? It was Warren Buffett, I'm pretty sure, that said the difference between rich people and poor people is poor people, they get paid, they spend what they need to spend, and then the rest is their savings. Rich people, they get paid, they invest, and then they spend and save what's left over. Investments end up being the number one thing for them. It was the guy, Elon Musk, who said that, he said that he made a bunch of money off of whatever, like millions of dollars. He invested all of that millions of dollars back into different places, and then he had to borrow rent money because investments were more important. And of course now he's multi-trillionaire or whatever. So investments are your February 2019 keyword. It's time to figure out where you can invest your energy back into, okay? So what you haven't faced right now is this whole story right here. When it's face down, it's what you haven't acknowledged. Okay, let's see what's going on, Taurus. So what you haven't faced, I'm going to come and hit you with the cold, hard truth. Please don't shoot the messenger. What you haven't faced is you actually have a lot to be thankful for. A lot of positivity in your life. However, because you're heartbroken about something in the past, it's hard for you to recognize what you actually have when it comes to blessings. It's hard for you to recognize that. You have a ton of emotional support. You have a ton of love. Tauruses are absolutely loved by their family and friends because they are the guardians of the zodiac. Especially the Taurus sun, they're the guardians of the zodiac. People really look up to you for that sense of security. So you have a lot of love in your life. However, because you were heartbroken in the past, some sort of pain, mainly like an infidelity, like a betrayal that involved at least 2 other people, because of that rain cloud that was placed on your heart, you're now very emotionally confused. And you don't know where you're going when it comes to love. You know that you have the world at your fingertips, and you know that you actually have a lot to be grateful for, but it doesn't matter because you still have that pain in your heart, and that pain in your heart is translating into emotional confusion. And then with that emotional confusion, you are manifesting solitude and alone time. Manifesting solitude, alone time. Happy family is there being like, where are you, Taurus? What's going on? Why are you so upset? Why do you have so many fears? Why can't you get back on your feet? And that is creating a lot of conflict within your family. So if you're recognizing that you have conflict in your family, I hate to say it, but that really is stemming from your own emotional confusion, because a Taurus comes into a family that needs grounding energy. A Taurus comes into a family that's been so chaotic that it needs somebody to say, "Bonk, get real, get rooted. So because you're that root for a lot of people, if you're not doing right, they're not doing right. So the confusion and the conflicts and the struggles that are going on in your family, I hate to say that I can't say that it's your fault, but a lot of it is stemming from your energy because they need you to be that strength. When you think of think about your family tree, you're the trunk. You're the trunk, and all those branches rely on you getting source and getting nutrients from the soil. And because you're emotionally confused and heartbroken, you're not getting the nourishment that you need in order to serve your branches, in order to flow that energy to your branches, okay? So it's really time, Taurus, for you to get your nutrients back up, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You got to reconnect with yourself, get yourself back to your Taurus energy. And the number one way to do that is to get clear about your finances. You get clear about your finances by looking at them, making a budget, and figuring out where you can invest your money and your energy, okay? Because it is time for you to move on emotionally, because your reputation and your thoughts that you're being taken from you is giving way too much energy your way, way too much energy your way. And if you are pulling in a lot of energy and you're putting out negative energy, this is the energy you're going to get back. Okay. So what you haven't faced, Taurus, is that things actually are really great in your life. If you were to just take a step back and look at it from a different perspective with a critical eye, you know, at least you have a job, at least you have a family, at least you have a car. Yeah, your car is giving you trouble, but at least you have a car. You know, people would kill to have a car, to have mobility, to have legs, you know, you never know. So taking a step back, showing more gratitude for what you have and for who you have in your life, and releasing this pain in your heart that is fueling your emotional confusion, because that emotional confusion is creating the solitude and the loneliness you feel within your family. And it is thus creating a lot of conflict in your family because they want you to be more grounded. They want you to be more your Taurus self so that they can make sense of their world. You're their guardian. Even if you're the youngest child, you're still a sense of stability in a lot of people's lives. And if you're chaotic, it's stemming out and they're all chaotic. So you really have a lot of power and a lot of responsibility to help other people out, which I know that at the end of the day, that's something that you would love to do. And you think that you have to do it financially, but actually you do it just by nourishing yourself and by getting yourself stabilized and being your true self so that everybody else can then in turn be their true self. So moving on emotionally from this heartbreak will completely change the way people look at you. You won't feel like you're being deceived anymore. And more opportunities will continue to come in that are positive, because the opportunities that are coming in, the messages that are coming in that are based on your hard work right now, they will be negative because they're stemming from this. So you want to switch it to this so that they can come in, and you have time to do that. Okay. So now let's get started on your reading. That's what your subconscious wants you to know right off the bat. Taurus, February 2019. Yeah, you guys are working hard. And if you shift your ideas when it comes to hard work and what hard work brings you, you'll be very positive. It's all about working smart, not working hard. So you can kill yourself with working hard, but if you're not accomplishing anything that is making you feel empowered, then it's pointless. Like, for instance, my husband goes to work for 10 hours a day, but all he does is sit on his phone. I'm like, you're not empowering yourself at all. You're boring yourself. Like, what's the point? And then you're getting paid for it. You're getting paid to be bored. So make sure that the energy out is equal to the energy in, okay? Or the energy in is equal to the energy out. Okay. Taurus, thank you. Okay. Ooh, new money. Let's see. You're transforming. How are you going to transform? Obstacle in the aid. Empowerment at home. Empowerment through your home and family. That's the obstacle to you transforming, but it's also the aid. Okay. So if you feel like you have no power at home, it's going to feel like you can't make positive changes. But if you feel like you do have power at home, it's going to be very easy for you to decide to make some transformations. Okay. And make some positive transformations at that. You do have enough power at home to transform yourself. Okay, you do. It is there. Subconsciously, you feel very powerless though, and you're thinking that you're very much judged. You're being judged at home, and that's why it's so difficult for you to feel like you can make some positive changes, because people are watching you. People are watching you. And this is where it's stemming from. It's stemming from the fact that you feel powerless. So you need power in order to transform yourself, but you feel powerless. So of course, you're not gonna be able to really initiate and flow with the transformations, because you feel like you're not in control, like you have no power over it. But guess what, Taurus? Yeah, you do. You have full power. You are 100% power, although you've given your power away so much to other people, and like I mentioned, allowed outside circumstances to say, well, I could do this if it wasn't for that, or if it wasn't for you. That's you giving your power away. You can do whatever you want to do, 100%, and it's as simple as that. People do what they want to do. People don't do what they don't want to do. It may seem like they are influenced or whatever, but no, people will not do what they don't want to do, and they will do what they do want to do. So you are in control. You have power. It's time for you to try and find those little pockets of power wherever you can and magnify them. So for instance, let's just say that, you live at home with your family and you feel very powerless even when it comes to, your overall happiness. Maybe you have power in the aspect where you're in charge of cooking dinner. So you have power over what people are eating, and that's fuel. Maybe you have power just, you get to decide what we watch on TV. You get to decide the movie that everybody watches. That's a level of power, taking those small pockets of power and magnifying them. So saying, you know what, if I'm in charge of movie night, we are watching this movie, this documentary on female empowerment, or this documentary on, money management, something along those lines. Finding those small little pockets of power and magnifying it will allow you to transform. Okay, you are thinking that you're being judged, Taurus. You probably are. You probably are. Everybody gets judged, right? We live in a very judging society. Think about it. We take a picture of a selfie of ourselves and we literally post it for judgment. We live our lives waiting to be judged. And we almost expect it. Like, think of me, like I'm literally doing a video, guaranteed feeling judgment no matter what. However, judgment really is another one of those things that comes from an inner lack of confidence. And if you feel that you are being judged, you need to look at how you are judging other people. Are you judging them? Are you giving them benefit of the doubt? Are you just letting them live their lives? A very good test, Taurus, is to see how you drive. I think I mentioned to this before, but I'm going to do a video on it on my other channel. How you drive is a representation of how you live your life, because a car represents the vehicle you are moving through life. So if you find that when you're driving, you are racist or impatient or angry, or, you really need to take that as a non-isolated event and look at your life based on how you drive. Like how you drive is truly, it was Wayne Dwyer who said, if you take an orange, you squeeze an orange and you're going to get orange juice because it's an orange. So under that immense pressure, what comes out is what's on the inside. So when you're driving, those people, they don't matter to you. So if they're able to affect you that much and you're getting squeezed and you're under this pressure, what's coming out? Is it judgment? Is it criticism? Is it, is it name calling? Is it anger? Is it racism? That's something that you need to acknowledge that you have within yourself when you're under intense pressure, when it comes to somebody that really has no bearing on your life except for you getting from point A to point B. So it's a true test. How do you drive? Do you drive patiently? Do you let people pass? Do you, are you a slow driver? Are you a fast driver? Do you need to always get ahead? Do you do things dangerously just to get ahead? Do you follow the rules of the road? Is your license expired? Are you driving without insurance? Really getting clear and thinking about what it means. You know what I mean? If you're driving without insurance, it means that, you're a risk taker, and you have problems with authority, things like that. So really using driving as a small reflection of the judgment that you're possibly placing on other people, and therefore getting it back, okay? Because emotionally, you're in a great place. Emotionally, you actually are doing really, really well, but you're still getting defaulted back to old habits. It's that fixed energy of the Taurus. You're getting default back to old habits, but emotionally you're doing really well and you have enough emotional energy to transform yourself as long as you acknowledge that you're not powerless when it comes to your home and family. You're not. You have complete power. You can decide what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And the first thing to decide, Taurus, is that you're not going to allow other people's energy to control your energy. You stand alone, and you're able to cultivate other people's energies in a positive way and transform yourself through it. So this is how your family and friends are viewing you. They're viewing you as somebody who has made a lot of sacrifices. They see that Taurus has made a lot of sacrifices, and that's really, they're kind of almost taking advantage of it. Because you've made sacrifices before, they're like, Taurus will make sacrifices again. Okay, so you'll be tested. You'll be tested when it comes to your power, for sure. They're like, well, oh no, Taurus, you don't have to do that. You know, you've sacrificed before, so it's okay if you do it again. You can make this sacrifice. You don't need that power. No, stand your ground and say, because I've made sacrifices before, I require a fair judgment, and I require the power to make transformations, positive transformations in my life. Family and friends, very intuitive. Family and friends know that you're also very intuitive as well. I think that you know something within your relationships with home and family, and you're not saying it. I think that you know something intuitively and you're not speaking that, especially when it comes to your family and friends. There's information there that you know, that is very empowering information, like that it almost gives you a sense of power. You have that information and you're not voicing it. Okay, so something that needs to be said to family and friends that you intuitively know, and you would also intuitively know that if you were to play that card and to voice that that intuitive knowledge that hasn't been voiced, you will empower yourself. Maybe it's just calling somebody out, being like, well, really, you're really gonna judge me? You're really gonna judge me, family, when this, you know, they know that you have the power to do that. And I think because you've sacrificed a lot before by not speaking out and saying, hey, don't judge me because this, they're kind of playing with that fire. It's time to just call them out. It's time to judge. And I know it won't be easy because as a Taurus, you know, like I said, you guys are the guardians. So kind of goes, it's counterintuitive, but you need it in order to honor yourself, Hope and fear. Hope and fear is the Star card. So you hope for it, but you fear it. You got to get clear about this, Taurus. Why would you fear happiness? Why would you fear being in the spotlight, being your true shining self? Why would you fear everything being taken care of in a positive way and feeling like you can walk on water and really getting in touch with your emotions and really feeling like you can, you know, fly and like really feeling very effortless and really feeling very open and free? Why would you fear that? Okay, was it because in a past when you felt this way, it was taken from you, maybe as a child, you know, maybe a parent shut you down as a child, but it's time to get clear about why you would fear, because it makes sense for you to hope for it, but you fear it as well. And because you fear it, you're pushing it away. Okay, but this is such a positive thing to want to bring into your life. And you'll see it. You'll see little ways that you push that happiness away. You know, like I just mentioned with the Mexico thing, like that's a small way of pushing away a really positive experience. So take a look around at your life, at situations, at messages or opportunities that have been presented to you that you've pushed away and made an excuse for and saying, well, I can't. But realistically, the real reason you can't is because you have a fear of it all working out, and you being very positive and accepted and not judged and transformative and powerful. Okay. And it really does stem from the fact that subconsciously you feel powerless. So subconsciously, if you don't feel like you have any power, you're going to fear positivity. Of course, you're going to fear positivity because you don't feel like you're in control of your positivity, and you know, what goes up must come down. So if you feel powerless to it, there's going to be a certain level of fear. So you're going to keep thinking that you're being judged, but you're going to do the work. I really do think that you guys are going to do the work, and you're really going to look at your life and be like, okay, where do I place a lot of judgments? And then really looking at your family and friends as well, and where you find you have a lack of power or an overexertion of power. You're really going to get clear about that this month. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to give, which you've been wanting to do. And when you give, you're flowing energy out, and you're specifically going to be giving to this female earth sign. So Capricorn, Libra, Taurus energy, very power type energy, probably a mother figure. This person has a very slow and steady nature, but there's definitely a lot of passion beneath the surface, and they're early risers. So this energy, this feeling of judgment that you've been feeling is going to allow you to decide, okay, now I want to start flowing out my power. I've been hoarding it way too much. I haven't been spending in the proper places. I haven't been spending money in ways that actually give back to me in a powerful way. Like, you know, if you're just spending on a top that was $5 that, you know, you wash it once and it's garbage, as opposed to spending that money on something, a quality item that is really going to make you feel great and really make you feel beautiful. That is going to really flow your energy around, and therefore you're going to feel like you can give power back to this Queen of Pentacles, who's been judging you so much. And giving power back to this Queen of Pentacles will give you that transformation that you need, because it's going to empower you in turn. Because you give what you want to get. If you want to be inspired, you got to inspire somebody else. If you want to be empowered, you need to empower somebody else. So you realizing your judgments will create a shift, and those judgments will then allow you to give back power, especially this Queen of Pentacles. Giving power to this Queen of Pentacles will then transform you, because you will then realize all the power that you yourself contain, because you can't give what you don't have. So the power that you're able to give to this Queen of Pentacles then in turn allows you to see what you have, and that you can stop making sacrifices for other people, that you have so much to be grateful for. You can feel a lot more emotionally content and happy, and voila. And then hopefully March, this card doesn't pop out. Okay. Love you, Tauruses, so much. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want a personalized reading, my email address is below. I use astrology and numerology in all my readings. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, Taurus.